Hello ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. We are here for round number 6 of the WTRL Zwift Racing League, and this one is going to be a sufferfest. We're in Yorkshire for the Tour of Tewit Well, and it is 3 laps in the C division. So let's have a look at the course, and you'll see that there is not a flat section on this. We start downhill, then we hit the start of the Yorkshire KOM reverse, and it's down and up and down and up, and that hill at just about 5.5-6 kilometres starts with parts at 20+%. So this one is going to be a slugfest. Let's get going then, and the countdown is on. 3, 2, 1, and off we go. As usual for WTRL races, this one starts fast, and it's a case of just trying to stay with the group and keep it all together. You know, I'm not a climber. You've seen my many poor performances on hills, so this one is really just going to try and hang with the front group as long as we can, collect some finishing points. We're not going to get any points for first across the line. We're certainly not getting anything for fastest through the segment, so it's all about getting some finishing points. And here we are on the downhill, and let's skip forward to the start of the first climb of the day. And you see even this one hits 15% for a little pinch, and then it's back down to 5, and then it sits about 7 for a while, and it's horrible. So we're at 1 minute into the race. We're already at 5% slope out the saddle. The heart rate's already almost 180, and just grinding up this hill. So on we go to the top of the hill, and the KOM arch is just round this right hand corner. The lead group is almost within touching distance still, but it is broken up and smashed all over the road. And looking at the results of this one, it's a win for Karim from Zwift Scotland, good job. Morgan from WRLCC, and then Doomboss. And those are also the results of the fastest throughout the race. First lap's usually the quickest, especially on a heavy climbing course like this one. So as we move forward, you can see that everyone is kind of broken up. The lead group is in 2, and then we're in this sort of third group back here as we hit the second climb of the day around 7%, and people start coming back from that splinter group, and at 8% it's a slog certainly. But we're back out the saddle again and sent at 4.5 watts a kilo to try and bridge that gap to the lead group, which has sort of come together as the middle group's just splintered and fallen away. And they're almost within touching distance, about 3 seconds back to the lead group. And we keep pushing as we come towards the top of this hill, and we get back to the tail end of that group. But the front of it is still just a couple of seconds away. But the heart rate's already at nearly 190, and unfortunately, all I can watch is the last rider from Vatos Tour just ever so slowly pull away, and I cannot catch them. And so that would be that. As we move now onto the slight downhill, you see that the gap just opened up a little bit further and a little bit further, and then eventually I ended up stuck in this no man's land. As you see from the mini map at the top, I was about 6 seconds behind the group ahead, 4 seconds to the group behind. So it was just a case of drop back, and we got into the start of this horror story climb. There is 21% at the pinch, and then a prolonged 15-16%. But this did shell off a few more from the front group, and it got me again to almost within touching distance of them, painfully close when you can see them, but you just can't quite get back on. But it did cause more splintering of the front group, and another subgroup or 2 getting shelled off the back. And as we go on now to the last climb, we had ended up with just a couple of riders that had been distanced off the front, still sitting around 14th place. And, I'd be pretty happy with 14th place. Out of the 70 starters, 14 is a pretty good it's a pretty good position, given how I failed to climb. But so we see that we have, on the descent, everyone's sort of caught up. A group of about 10 or 12 now as we hit the climb. There's the other teammate, Ronnie. How you doing, pal? And on the climb, again, it's a push up the hill, and more people getting shelled off the lead group each time as we approach the top of the KOM. And yeah, it's still very, very hard. Like, the power graph is up and down. We're still at 185 beats a minute. It's hardly gone down. And intermediate 2, it is the second set of points for Karim, beating Richard Doomboss and then Brett Field of ATR. So fantastic. That's 2 intermediate wins and a first across the line. Karim absolutely smashing it. This is a man that said he couldn't climb either. Liar. On we go again then. And this brings us to the second set of hill. There's second hill, second time. And again, just try to find a comfortable sort of rhythm. We're picking off odds and sods that have come off the lead group. And there's a small splinter group up ahead. And we're going to try and bridge and get onto that, which we do by the top of this hill here. We'll just tag on to the back of the splinter group. And that'll put us up here in the top 10, which is fantastic. Did not expect this, but we'll take it. Very, very happy with that one. However, everything would come back together down the flats, and as we started on the last lap, there was a group of around 7 or 8, and they'd all caught back up as we hit into the first hill of the KOM, and up towards the top you saw a break going away there from Neeson and Pruss of Vatos Tour and Durasport. But we come up and cross the line in 10th place. The win overall goes to Richard Doornbos. Then it's Dean from Zwift Scotland and Alex Bretfield from ATR. 10th place though for me, that's a single solitary point. I did not expect any intermediate points whatsoever on this, so I gotta say I'm pretty happy with that. It's a good haul. As we try to catch back on, unfortunately the group of Neeson and Pruss is disappearing down the road. Wright and Page may be catchable on this hill, but unfortunately Neeson and Pruss are probably away. And as we come to the top and into the wall once again, we had the feather power up from the start finish line this time, so that's managed to bring us back to Bird, who had put a little gap in, but he was swiftly caught as we go through the 15% section and get onto the ever so slight let up, a mere 10%. So try to chase down the group ahead, which is the Neeson, Pruss and Page group. I will be able just about make contact with Neeson, but all that does is spur him on to drop the hammer a little bit more as it gets up towards 14-15% again, and unfortunately I just have to watch him pull ever so slowly again away and know that I am probably not going to see him again. See you later. But that does leave me in a group with Bird from AMG, and then behind that there's a small gap of about 7 seconds to Love of Glasgow Try and Murphy. We sit together, and this group of 4 means that my top 10 is not secured. If it had just been the 2 of us, it would have been okay, but being a group of 4, that means I need to beat at least 2 of them in the sprint, and the way my legs are feeling, I really don't fancy a sprint right now. So with 1 hill left to go, that's going to have to be the place that we try and shell off a couple of these guys and hold them off on the downhill into the finish. And here is the last hill of the day, and you can see we try to push out something in the region of 4 watts a kilo to try and open up a gap. And you can see Murphy just gradually going backwards as the gap starts to open up. The group in front, we're never going to catch them. We can see them in the distance, but they're just specks really. And it's just about trying to open up a gap. At least 2 of them need to go off the back. Love is going back 2 seconds. Bird's starting to go back as well. Murphy is hanging in there with us at just a second to him, but it looks like Love and Bird are the 2 that we're managing to move off. Murphy coming back through, but it looks like we've done what we needed to do. And indeed, as we move on to the flat, you can see the gap to Bird is back to 4 seconds. I don't trust Murphy to relay with me, so on the flat top and onto the downhill, I'm going to have to sit on the front and just try and make sure that gap back to Bird does not come down, or if it does, it comes down to something that's at least manageable and that I can keep him away. And at the bottom of the hill, the gap was down to just a second, so I open up early. I know I'm going to lead out Murphy, but I'll take leading out Murphy if it means beating Bird and securing my top 10. He pulls away, and this is why I didn't want to sprint, because he's got 10 watts a kilo in his locker, and I don't. But across the line, and the results now, you see Doom Boss managed to take it from Brady and Cornwall. 4th and 5th for Dean and Kareem. Great results. 10th for me, 15th for Ronnie. 4 riders in the top 5. That's just amazing stuff. Really is amazing. Looking at the overall team table, we've managed to take the win quite comfortably. Team NL down in 3rd as they missed the boat a couple of times, and the overall table real close. Team NL still away at the top, but Vatos Tour and Zwift Scotland 1 point separating them. So please subscribe if you enjoyed this. We'll do a giveaway at 100, and I will see you next time.